Good day everyone. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuhu. My name is Muhammad Sheikh Ibrahim and I am from the group 4. Today, I will be discussing the important roles of the Department of National Defense or DND and the Office of Civil Defense or OCD in the disaster risk reduction and management systems here in the Philippines. These two agencies plays a central role in ensuring our country's preparedness, response, and recovery during disasters. First, let's talk about the Department of National Defense or DND. The Department of National Defense has a very important responsibility. It provides executive oversight over the armed forces of the Philippines and the Office of Civil Defense. This means that the DND ensures both the military and the civil defense agencies are ready and coordinated when disasters strike. Under the Republic Act 10121, also known as the Philippine Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Act of 2010, the Secretary of National Defense serves as the chairperson of the National Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Council or the DRRMC. This gives the DND the authority to lead and set national policies and strategies for department for disaster management. Aside from policy making, DND also provides military support. During disasters, the AFP mobilized for rescue operations, relief distributions, and logistic support. For example, during the heavy flooding and storms in July 2025, the AFP deployed 33 disaster response task units with over 300 personnel and kept more than 1,000 vehicles, aircraft, and vessels on standby to help affected areas. Through these actions, DND ensures a unified disaster operations where the military, the local governments, and civilian agencies all work together to save lives and restore communities. Now, let us talk about the Office of Civil Defense or OCD. The Office of Civil Defense serves as the implementing arm of the DRRMC. This means that while the Council sets the policies, the OCD makes sure that these policies are actually carried out nationwide. The main mission of OCD is to develop and administer a comprehensive civil defense and disaster risk reduction program. In other words, OCD makes sure that the country is prepared before disasters happen and that our response are effective afterward. One of the OCD's main responsibilities is the National DRRM planning. It leads the formulation of the National Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Plan or NDRRMP. This plan outlines the goals, objectives, and strategies for reducing disaster risk and managing recovery efforts. OCD also conducts hazard assessments, creating national hazard maps and information systems to identify which areas are at risk. These tools guide early warning systems and preparedness programs. Another functions is training and standardization. OCD develops national standards for disaster response, conducts training programs, and manages the National DRRM Operations Center, which operates 24/7 to monitor hazard and coordinate actions nationwide. In short, The Office of Civil Defense transforms the NDRRMC's policies into real, on-the-ground action through coordination, information, management, and education. One of the actions that OCD has done is to coordinate relief during typhoons, earthquakes, and floods. They also issue warning advisories, guidelines, and standards. They also support the local DRRM offices and cities and municipalities. The National Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Council, or NDRRMC, acts as the main policy-making and coordinating body for all disaster management efforts in the country. Its main functions include setting the national framework and policies for DRRM, integrating efforts from different government agencies, supervising, monitoring, and evaluating the implementation of DRRM activities. One of its key responsibilities is to ensure the protection and welfare of the people before, during, and after disasters. This covers everything from early warning systems to search and rescue, relief operations, and rehabilitation. The Council is chaired by the Secretary of National Defense, with the Secretaries of DSWD and NEDA as Vice Chairs. Its members include almost all major government departments, such as the DILG, DOH, DPWH, DENR, DepEd, AFP, PNP, and others. This makes NDRRMC a true whole-of-government body, ensuring that all sectors work hand in hand during emergencies. The Philippines uses a whole-of-government and whole-of-society approach in disaster response. This means that everyone, from the AFP, PNP to DSWD, DOH, LGUs, and NGOs, and communities all work together under one system. This coordination is made possible through the Incident Command System, or ICS. The ICS ensures that when a disaster happens, all responding agencies operate under a single command to avoid confusion and duplication of efforts. We also have the National Disaster Response Plan, which defines how agencies coordinate before, during, and after disasters or calamities. When a disaster strikes, the National Incident Command is activated through the NDRRM Operations Centers, and emergency operation centers are established at the local level. Finally, the local government units, or LGU, plays a vital role through their local DRRM offices and councils. These local councils prepare their own disaster plans, manages local quick response funds, and lead evacuation and relief operation in coordination with OCD and regional DRRM Council. Now, to summary my report, the DND provides leadership and oversight, mobilizing the military and ensuring unified national disaster operation. The OCD implements the DRRM plans, conducts hazard assessments, coordinates response, and strengthens preparedness nationwide. And the DRR and DRRMC, chaired by the DND, integrates all these efforts to protect the Filipino. Together, these agencies form the backbone of our country's disaster risk reduction and management system. ensuring that from the national to local level, the Philippines remains resilient in the face of calamity. Before I end the video, there are questions that I would like you all to answer. You may all pause the video to answer to give time and answer the questions. This is the first question. You may pause the video. This is the second question. This is the third one. Fourth question. Fifth question. Sixth question. Seventh question. The eighth question. The ninth question. And lastly, the 10th question. You may all answer this. Give the answer to the comment section or to the reporters. This is for fun and to test your knowledge if you have listened to the reports. Thank you so much and have a good day. Again, this is Muhammad Sheikh Ibrahim from the Group 4 reporting.